Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on today's video. A little bit different today. Tucker and I are taking a field trip to what used to be a local short track and is now sadly not there. So we're going to what used to be I85 Speedway, Raceway, sorry. Funny enough, the Speedway is actually like on top of a building that I used to work in. So I know just how to get there. So we're gonna go see if there's any remnants left. And for us, it's a good reminder to just keep going to the racetrack, even when we're not racing, to support our local tracks, keep these programs going. We know how much racing means to us and the communities. So let's keep racing, let's keep our tracks open. We will see you at the former site of I85 Speedway. Greer, South Carolina, just off Interstate 85. We're gonna go and see if there's any remnants left of the racetrack. We're gonna go and see what we can find. It may be nothing, but we're gonna find out.
We're currently looking at nothing.
We are currently looking at nothing.
We're currently looking at an open field,
which I think may have had the front stretch stands. I don't know this. We never raced here. This was before us. In fact, it closed. I was 2 years old when it closed, and Tucker was
not born yet.
Not born yet.
And we didn't even live here by the time it. Yeah, well, obviously we didn't live here because we still lived out west. So
yep. But our crew guy Steve Hampton did work on a car that raced here in about the early '90s. So shout out to Steve. He probably is not going to watch this. But I think it was a 4-cylinder car, because I think he said he had to build the motor a whole bunch of times, and now he hates 4-cylinder cars.
Anyway,
bang bangers.
Bang bangers.
Bang bangers. Let's go see what we can find. So we are just about a mile from I-85, the interstate. I can hear it from here. And I'm walking outside of one of the corners. I don't know which corner.
I don't know which side was the front straightaway and which side was the back straightaway.
Yeah.
But the corner of this building, which you can show everybody, the corner of this building, which is Free-to-Lay,
was one of
the corners. Yeah, right here. This was one of the corners.
You can see there's a little bit of a hill there. I don't know if that is a piece of banking or what.
There's kind of a berm all the way down here.
Actually, yeah, there is kind of a berm all the way down here. There's a little bit better look at that berm that we were talking about. The parking lot kind of dips downhill, goes down to what would be the straightaway.
So the track was a half-mile dirt oval, and that's pretty long. If you look over there, according to this little map that I found on Facebook, that building, the center building here, and the third building down, all of those would have been in the infield of the racetrack, which is pretty big.
I've never actually driven a dirt late model on a half-mile track. I think really the only one near us is Lancaster. I know I'm saying that wrong to the locals, but I'm doing the best I can. It's kind of hard to find information on it, but according to the map, still on the straightaway, which seems huge, and that building would still be in the infield. There is a little bit of a dip right there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bit of a dip there, so I'm wondering if there's something, maybe that could have been an edge of the corner. So far, there's like no evidence that there was ever a racetrack here. I'm sure that when they built this business complex, they probably flattened it out pretty good. We're looking, and I don't see any indication, which is kind of sad. So, not being a professional abandoned racetrack historian, and although
maybe that's a cool idea.
That would be a cool idea. This is maybe what's left of some of the racetrack's dirt. There's a bunch of dirt mounds piled up right here. But according to our research, we're about 100 yards maybe less from what would have been the exit of one of the corners and then leading down the straightaway. It was a half-mile track, so it was fairly big. And if we look here, most of this business complex on the other side of the little road would actually be what was in the infield from the map that we found on Facebook. Whether the map's accurate, I don't know. What we do know is the track opened in 1985, closed in 1994. There was a number of big races here. Some notable names that I saw won races: Charlie Schwartz, Freddie Smith, Bobby Allen, which I think was a sprint car race here in 1992, which that's kind of interesting because there's not a whole lot of big sprint car races in this area, but of course we're going back pretty far. So there are several pretty significant piles of clay here. I'm guessing on whether or not that was part of the racetrack, and the racetrack, from the pictures that I've seen, didn't have a ton of banking, but with as big as it was, any banking would be a lot of dirt. My best guess is that this is some of the clay remaining from the racetrack. But then it's flat, and so all the way into what is the business complex. Here's some of the piles of dirt. They're really small little piles. There's Tucker standing on one.
I don't know where else they could have come from. Because then after that, it's just flat. It's just completely
that way
flat.
over is just flat. Pile of abandoned, dilapidated pallets here. Tucker says the stands were concrete, he thinks.
I think the grandstands were concrete. I don't know that, but from what I saw, looked like the grandstands were concrete. So we were kind of hoping, oh, maybe there's some piled up old grandstands back here, but I think they were concrete anyway. So, and this is just
trash.
Yeah, this is just wood trash. So
I guess it's better than plastic trash.
That's true.
Do you or anyone you know race at I85 Raceway? It looks like they had a really cool sign with like a late model on top from the stuff that we found online. If you did, we want to know. Drop a comment. If we got something wrong, if we're in the wrong place, that's cool too. Let us know. Thinks the stands were concrete, and here
A whole lot of concrete.
is a lot of concrete.
It comes back here too.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of it.
Did this track have walls? Do you know?
I think it did, based on the pictures. The grandstands were concrete, according to an article that we read. And here, toss me the phone and I'll show. There's a bunch of old bags of concrete out here. Look here. That is a bunch of old bags of concrete. So, I don't know. Maybe they didn't need as much as they thought, or this is just where they were storing it, or this is where it got put after it was done. But I don't know any other reason why we'd find a bunch of unused bags of concrete out here, and then a bunch of piles of broken up concrete too. I don't know this for sure, but it would be my guess that all that was the grandstands.
There is where we just were with the concrete and stuff. And right behind me is the front door to the warehouse I worked at. Thank you for watching today's video. Subscribe if you enjoy cool racing stuff. Today was a little bit different. Thanks for
kind of wandered around.
Thanks for sticking around while we wander through the woods. I definitely have ants in my shoes. See you on the next one.